Sasha Browse's death signifies a much deeper change for Attack on Titan, one that you may have missed. So, in today's video, we will be celebrating Sasha's brilliant character along with the significance of her death. Later in the video, we'll be discussing Zeke's betrayal and defection to Paradis, and as well, what everyone was waiting for, another tall woman for the internet to thirst over. I mean, we already got Lady Dimitrescu, who is just, like 10 foot tall, and now Yelena, who is 6'7". Internet don't care, y'all. Let's get into the video. So first off, what an episode! While I was sadly spoiled previously on Sasha's death, thanks YouTube comments, I think it didn't lessen the effect of it one bit. One of AOT's most beloved characters, the shining light of AOT's darkness, met an untimely end at the hands of Gabby, and the internet blew up because of it. Sasha's name was trending for quite some time on Twitter, much like Aaron's name was, but instead, all you could find were comments celebrating her. Honestly, it makes me tear up saying this a little bit, but Sasha's death was treated like a real person's death, and I know I shouldn't feel this strongly attached to a drawing or animation, but damn, I can't help it, it's so sad. Though, thanks to my friend Satsuki the Savage, he pointed out something really interesting, so all credits go to him for coming up with this theory. His channel will be linked in the description somewhere down below. Sasha's death symbolizes something so much more than just the death of a beloved character. Her death is a turning point, a tone shift in the story of AOT that I think we will see the effects of until the end of the series. Sasha's death symbolizes reality, the death of joy in AOT, or in other words, or maybe more simplistically, comedy. Sasha's character has always been one that in no matter the situation will bring positivity. Much like the last scene in this episode of her confiscating meat from earlier in the series, this was a scene which perfectly portrayed what Sasha was all about as a character and her role in the series. Yes, she was a very good shot and she was a very serious character and portrayed as such often. But along with Connie and John, she brought out the heart of AOT. And in many ways, Sasha's death is the death of this show's heart. From now on, I can only expect the series to continue on a more grim and depressing path of revenge and war until we reach what I believe to be an ending that isn't bad, but isn't good either. But put down in the comments what your favorite Sasha scene was. Mine was in season 2 when she got her very own episode. I thought that was a really cool arc for Sasha, and it's still one of my favorites. As well, I'm sure there is going to be a lot of comments saying a lot of things about Gabby, but I am here to say that this Friday I will be releasing a video about Gabby, so we won't be talking about her much in this video, but the video will be on why I think she is totally justified. So be sure to subscribe for that. It's coming out Friday. Until then, I think an important takeaway from this scene is John's reaction to all of this. We know how important Sasha is to John, and when Flock asks if they should just throw them out, he objects to that and delivers them to Levi and the others. This speaks volumes of John's character. Moments after the death of his closest friend, basically a sister-like figure to him, he has the head to not take out his anger on these kids and just kill them. John thinks doing that would be no good, and probably would have continued the senseless cycle of revenge. But if we go back a couple of episodes, we see that Jean hesitated killing Falco when he shielded a wounded Peak, and before that, he got on to Flock about the way he treated civilian casualties. This is one of those situations where as a soldier, he can do nothing more than to accept the orders given, but obviously, Jean, like many others, is starting to realize just how awful this situation is. Speaking of Flock, I think his character in this episode is really interesting to analyze, because over the past handful of episodes, Flock has had very interesting takes on many things. In this episode, as their mission is coming to an end, Flock cheers on that tonight they'll celebrate the memory of their 6 comrades that have fallen, because it's less casualties than Marley. This is a really weird way to think of this. Instead of mourning, Flock is acting like this is good. In reality, they not only lost 6 of their own, but a lot of innocent people died on Marley's side. Udo and Zofia were just children, for example. This leads me to think that Flock simply just doesn't get it. Connie, Sasha, and John aren't cheering any of this on, but the others are. And if I were in their shoes, my first reaction would be to cry. Weigh the pros and cons of war. Is it even worth it to go through all of this to lose someone in an instant? Flock, so far in the final season, has really come across that he is all about ruthless aggression to me. That he wants revenge for Erwin and 90% of the Survey Corps that was being being wiped out by Zeke, Reiner, and Bertholdt in the retaking of Shiganshina. Floch never forgot that, and so I theorize that he is moving forward with revenge on his mind, and no respect for the other side. His mind is closed off, his head is in the sand. He's already decided, much like how Gabby and Marley in this episode decided Paradis were devils, that the people of Marley are nothing more than dirt. Plenty of real soldiers in real life talk about this problem in warfare, where they have in their heads that the enemy is this malicious entity that is evil, but in reality, they're people just like any other. Floch is likely experiencing the exact same thing. After all, he is just a soldier following orders. Last episode, I talked about my excitement for another Reiner and Eren fight, but in this episode, we didn't really get that. In fact, I guess we did, but the fight really wasn't much. Eren punched Reiner, he fell over, and that was that. Now, my theory on why Eren ended the fight there isn't just because Eren was weakened. I think it was because of what Eren has gone through to get to this moment. I don't think Eren exactly wants to fight Reiner, and this is a shift because Eren so readily fought Reiner in Season 2. What makes this different, however, for me, is that Eren has now experienced what it's like to live in Marley and see things from Reiner's perspective more. Eren is also older now. He's an adult and not an angry teen who'd act out. This Eren is more calm and collected, and I think that him fighting Reiner now made him realize how much he has gone through, and maybe the thought of ending it now scares him because it would likely mean the death of Reiner, and maybe he isn't prepared for that. Think about it. Eren simply dropped Reiner like it was nothing, and all Reiner wanted to do was get Porco away from Eren. That to me showed that in this moment, Eren has all of the control, and probably could have ended them both right there if he really wanted to try. Of course, though, I could be wrong. I'm just theory building, but make no doubts, I do believe Eren's character throughout this whole ordeal has been rather different for him so far. Zeke's defection had me in shambles, to say the least. I had no idea at all that Zeke would be working with Paradis, and not only that, but this was his plan all along. Mind blown. It wasn't many years before this that Zeke single-handedly wiped out many of their Survey Corps along with the then leader of humanity, Erwin. For this guy to go through all of that and then side with the people he was tasked with wiping out, that's kind of huge. But this also means that they just trust them quite a bit to do this. Obviously not enough to let him roam around freely, but still enough to plan all of this out and trust him. This makes me wonder what exactly this means for Marley, as not only have they been crippled at this point, but they just lost one of their most trusted military officials, Zeke Yeager. Keep that in mind of how trusted he was. Theories on this? Man, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have many, but maybe it has something to do with Zeke regretting what he did as a child, turning his parents in and effectively killing them for all he knows. So to redeem himself, maybe he's joining Paradis to put an end to this war. This also makes me wonder, does Eren and Zeke being related play into this at all? If so, could that be the reasoning? Put down your theories on why Zeke joined this side of the Survey Corps. I'd love to hear them. Though please do not spoil. No matter how many times I say that in a video, you guys still do it, but I'm serious. Please do not spoil. Would greatly appreciate that. But speaking of Eren, the last moments of this episode are something else. Hanj tells Eren that every time he is caught, it always costs someone their life, and he starts to laugh. This to me is very similar to the scene in Season 2, Episode 12, where Eren laughs as he and all of his friends and family are surrounded by titans as he is helpless and can't transform to save everyone. In that moment, he laughed too. In this moment, I think this is another part of Eren that simply broke. This time, his actions cost him the life of one of his most beloved and precious friends, Sasha. Now for Eren, once again, the realization is setting in that he was helpless to stop all of this, except, oh wait, he wasn't. And I think the difference here is that Eren knows exactly what he did, and that the death of Sasha is due to his actions in the end, and that is why this time he's breaking again. Though I think the main takeaway from this is just really how amazing AOT's pacing is. This video may be one of my shorter videos on AOT, simply because if you think about it, there wasn't that much that happened in this week's episode. I mean, there were two major events, Sashas Death and then Zeke. That's it. It's a testament to AOT's writing and quality. But what else is a testament is you guys subscribing, giving this video a like, and commenting your thoughts on Sasha's death and Yelena being tall as fuck. Also check out my Patreon, where you can get access to exclusive content and podcasts. Plus, I got merch. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.